Well, let's do a 180 on political persecution real quick and say WTF here. Alec
Yeah,
Baldwin's charges have been dropped. Now,
which
this
is
was a man who
pretty.
shot Halayna Hutchins on the set, and then he was like, the gun just went off, even though he pulled the trigger. He
Mhm,
did
mhm,
kill Halayna Hutchins and murdered, or not murdered, but injured another dude. Um,
mhm.
but they went after the charges and everything for this reason, and yet all of a sudden, because he's a celebrity and he's got money, of course, rules for thee, but not for me.
Yeah, you know what's also interesting is the armorer. I have a hard time pronouncing that word sometimes. Her charges are still going.
Yep.
So his charges completely dropped. Hers are still being pursued, and I think they're doing the court case in like August. But yeah, Baldwin faced involuntary manslaughter charges in October 2021. He held the gun that shot and killed cinematographer Halayna Hutchins and wounded director Joel Souza. In January, the Santa Fe district attorney filed involuntary manslaughter charges against Baldwin. The charges included a felony firearm enhancement that carried a possible 5 years in prison if convicted. However, the district attorney dropped the enhancement charge a month later. Now, 2 months later, Baldwin's attorneys indicate he no longer faces any charges in the case. So he's the one who pulled the trigger. He's the one who actually, um, you know, uh, committed this I don't know crime. Involuntary manslaughter is just such a weird one too. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of one of those weird ones. But we are pleased with the decision to dismiss the case against Alec Baldwin, and we encourage a proper investigation into the facts and circumstances of this tragic case. Like it happened in 2021. Like you've been investigating for 2 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Rust Armorer. Hannah Gutierrez Reed still faces involuntary manslaughter charges. Last month, the judge accepted. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so that's what's up. And he just walks free, and he just goes, and she'll probably get, convicted and found guilty, and she'll have to deal with all of this. But good old Alec, he just continues being a crappy human being and facing no retribution for that, repercussions. I should say.
I
So.
do want to kind of give a little bit of a recap with this because this is a really weird situation. Once this happened, I was kind of I really went into this one hard because this case is kind of weird as far as that goes. Like there were reports of him being a horrible person and everybody just being fed up with him just demanding and just being a POS to the people that worked for him and things like that. So why was there live rounds on this set though? Okay. Were they actually doing like target practice and things while the cameras weren't rolling? Okay. That could be the case. But I do understand how the Hannah Gutierrez Reed person is
Mhm.
involved in this too because she was the armorer. She was the one that was supposed to make sure that blanks and live rounds don't mix together. For this
Yeah.
specific reason, I do understand her involvement in this. There were bullets found, live bullets that were found on his in the gun, in the box of ammo on his belt, and I think there was one other place. It kind of does point to a little bit of a setup situation, like you're leaving these live rounds everywhere for just somebody to grab. Like you're trying to set up an accident kind of situation. I do understand and I do get behind that whole line of thinking as well. But even if you're using blanks, you do not point the weapon directly at somebody.
Yeah. I don't
So the
know.
fact that he pointed it at the woman and pulled the trigger is intent, especially after they had an
Mm,
argument, right then and there. And then he does that. Yes, that is intent. You can. There is a reason why this man should be going to jail.
I mean, I wouldn't call it intent. Like just because it was part of the scene, right? So I wouldn't say that holding a firearm that is part of a scene and acting like I don't like that doesn't indicate intent to me. You should at least be charged with involuntary manslaughter. Because it's like the type of situation like I don't know. I don't want to really compare it to anything else because I think it's pretty unique. But I think both of them
Very,
should be held accountable, I guess.
very few scenes in movies and in TV shows and everything do you actually look down the barrel, because of that reason. If you're looking
Hmm.
down the barrel in that they either CGI the trigger pull, or you don't see the aftermath, it just cuts to a black screen because of that reason. Even if you're using blanks, you don't point it directly at somebody because the gunpowder still comes out, it can still cause harm. The
Yeah,
fact
yeah.
that, okay, that was a scene, okay, if he wasn't supposed to pull the trigger in that scene, then why did he? Number one. Number
Hmm.
two, if it was supposed to be a blank, why are you pulling, or why are you pointing it directly at somebody? That's a known thing. That's never a thing. Even an unloaded weapon, something is not loaded, should never be pointed
Mm,
at somebody.
not part of scene 2 point at camera according to the script. Okay. Okay. It's been a
So
while
yeah,
since I've looked over all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I think overall it just yet again shows that like if you're a celebrity, you're probably gonna walk, you know. There's
right.
very few celebrities who actually get convicted and do time for things that they actually did. You know what I mean? So money talks.
Nick, I
Poor
do
people
want to
walk.
address this one right here. I will admit the title was a little bit clickbaity. I do agree with you. It's not the guns that
Sometimes.
kill people; it's people that
Yeah.
kill people.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to interest people, okay? And they gotta click on the thing and you gotta like have like a because like I've that's actually a fault of mine. I don't want to do clickbait titles on my own videos, but then I'm like, man, like that's the videos I click on are the
I mean,
clickbait titles
if you
because they
had
get me.
Colin Noir, who's a known gun advocate, say like, "We should ban guns" in a title of a video, yes, I'm clicking on it. What do you mean?
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
talking about? There's no reason
Well,
you
like,
should be saying these things. And then he's just like,
yeah,
"No, look, I don't believe that. I just wanted you to listen." Okay, yeah, you got my attention. You know,
yeah, yeah. It's a necessary evil sometimes, guys. But
it is.
because, like, you gotta entice people. Click on your video, watch your stuff. Anyway, but yeah.
But as far as that goes,
So
I mean, this isn't the first time that we've seen, a celebrity or a big political figure or something. I mean, Dick Cheney shot a man in the face and got away scot free.
this
I
is
will
like the
never
second.
stop bringing that up.
This is the second week in a row you've randomly.
I have to say it. It is a funny story. I
Sorry,
didn't want
I'm
to get
not.
into it a little bit there because we were talking with Rob, but the whole thing was they were on a hunting trip. Okay.
Hmm.
Now you're gonna
Yeah,
sit there and tell me that this dude has a loaded shotgun and he shoots a dude in the face who's wearing an orange vest, standing straight up on two legs. He is there, and you're gonna say, "I thought he was a deer." What?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny, haha. It's funny, weird. But yeah, like it just seems like he was like, darn, it didn't work. I don't know. But yeah,
It did work because
no,
he got away with it. It didn't work because he didn't do what he wanted to do.
he left a witness.
He left the witness, the victim. But yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I have to bring it up with those kinds of situations because it's one of those things where everybody that was at least paying attention back then heard this story. Everybody knows this, but it's just like everybody's like, it is what it is. Like, really? Our vice president shot a dude, and it is what it is. No.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, oh, like it's just wild to me that celebrities or people with status and money are just not held to the same standard as the plebs, you know.
Well, it depends on
It's
that
just
celebrity too, because I mean,
yeah,
look
it
at
does
Gina
depend on
Carano
the
and Kevin
celebrity.
Sorbo.
Yeah. Even airsoft guns, those things hurt quite a bit. Bro, I used to play airsoft and paintball and stuff with a couple of cousins of mine. Almost all my cousins are boys. So, we used to do that stuff and man, I've been shot at like point blank with an airsoft, like got like a huge welt. Paintball, same thing. Back in the day my brother was playing paintball and some complete um mean person. I was going to swear, but I'm trying really hard not to. So, um, but they froze their paintballs and then they shot people with those. And like like that can kill someone. Like that can
Yes,
legit kill someone if you hit somebody in the freaking temple or
that
something like
won't break
that. Like,
skin. That will actually do damage. I've been
and if you're,
hit with them. Yes.
yeah, it's like, bro, you just took all the fun out of paintball. What are you doing? But anyway, yeah.
I mean, me and a friend of mine, we went to a little arena that his aunt was setting up. They had bought this like old movie theater, and they were setting it up for like an event center kind of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
they had indoor paintball. Well, we decided to act like tough guys in that whole situation. And he had bought his professional one, and I had one of those little rental guns. Well, we
Mm-hmm.
went out there in nothing but jeans and a face shield.
Oh, geez. Oh, oh
We had
no.
so many welts on each other. Mine were worse because he turned the power all the way up, and I'm literally hearing the right beside me, and I know he's doing that, and I'm like, I can't do anything with mine because they're set at the lowest setting anyway. I can't change this. This is horrible. Yeah, there were some that broke skin, and they weren't even frozen. So yes, those things they do hurt.
Yeah, they do
We
some
did that.
damage, man.
We did that to just to kind of be like, well, I'm manly, you know, but it was dumb. I'll admit that it hurt.